"You'll never be more than a maid," she sneers, loud enough for guests to turn. My cheeks burn as I clutch the silver locket around my neck. The one I've had since childhood, its cool metal grounding me. But inside, rage simmers, whispering that she's wrong, so very wrong. I freeze for a second, rag still in hand. The cool stone under my fingers slick with cleaner. The lobby hums around us, chandeliers casting warm golden light on the velvet chairs and potted palms. Guests murmur, checking in at the front desk, their suitcases rolling softly over the tiled floor. Aunt Evelyn stands there in her tailored suit, pearls gleaming, her face twisted in that familiar disdain. She's not just any guest. She's family, or what's left of it after my parents died in that car crash 15 years ago. She took me in, but only as help, turning her sprawling home into my prison of chores and criticisms. Now, at 28, I'm here at the Grand Horizon Hotel, scrubbing surfaces while she jets in for business meetings that always seem to involve shopping sprees. "Why are you even here?" she hisses, stepping closer, her perfume cloying, like overripe flowers. The locket presses into my palm as I squeeze it tighter, a small oval thing with intricate engravings. Initials I can't make out clearly, maybe an A and R, faded from years of wear. Mom gave it to me on her deathbed, whispering, "This is your truth, darling. Hold on to it." I never understood, but it's the only piece of her I have left. Aunt Evelyn glances at it now, her lip curling. "That cheap trinket? Figures you'd cling to garbage, just like your mother, always dreaming above her station." Her words sting like lemon in a cut, and I feel the heat rising, my uniform suddenly too tight, the fabric scratching my skin. A couple nearby pauses, the man adjusting his tie, whispering to his wife. I want to snap back. Tell her how I've saved every penny from this job, how I've taken night classes in hotel management, dreaming of more, but I bite my tongue, years of conditioning kicking in. "Yes, Aunt Evelyn," I mutter, eyes down, resuming my wipe down. The rag squeaks against the marble. She laughs, a sharp bark that echoes off the high ceilings. "See? Obedient little maid. Clean my suite later, extra thorough. I have guests coming." With that, she pivots on her heel, clicking away toward the elevators, her designer bag swinging, the doors ding open, swallowing her. I exhale, shoulders slumping, the locket now warm from my grip. A coworker, Maria, sidles up from behind the desk, her apron rustling. "You okay, Lena?" "That woman's a viper." I nod, but my mind races. Why does she hate me so much? Flashbacks hit, family dinners where she'd praise my cousins, her real kids, with gifts and trips, while I cleared plates. "You're lucky I feed you," she'd say. The locket thumps against my chest as I move, a quiet reminder. Maybe Mom knew something. I tuck the rag away and head toward the staff entrance, the lobby's chatter fading behind me. The hallway cools my flushed skin, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. In the break room, I sink into a plastic chair, the vinyl creaking. Coffee machine gurgles in the corner, steam rising with a bitter scent. I pull out my phone, scrolling absent-mindedly, but my thumb stops on an old photo. Me as a kid, Mom holding the locket, Dad smiling in the background. They worked here once, Dad as a concierge, Mom in housekeeping, before the accident. Aunt Evelyn swooped in, claiming guardianship, but she always hinted I wasn't fully family. "Adopted charity case," she'd whisper. The locket clicks open under my fingers, empty inside, no photo, just smooth silver. "Why empty?" Maria pokes her head in. "Shift's almost over. Want to grab a bite?" I shake my head. "Need to think." She leaves, door clicking shut. Alone, I trace the engravings again. Those initials, could they mean something? The hotel CEO, Mr. Reynolds, his name starts with R, silly thought. He's a distant figure, striding through lobbies in suits, but I've seen him pause once, staring at staff photos. Or was that imagination? My phone buzzes. Aunt Evelyn's text. "Suite 1204. Now. Bring fresh towels." I groan, standing. The locket sways as I gather supplies, its chain cool against my neck. Pushing the cart down the hall, wheels rumbling softly, I steel myself. Her door looms, brass number gleaming. I knock, the sound hollow. "Come in," she calls, voice muffled. Inside, the suite sprawls, king bed rumpled, city view through floor-to-ceiling windows. afternoon sun slanting in gold shafts. She's on the phone, pacing, ignoring me as I unfold towels, the fabric soft and scented with lavender. Yes, the inheritance is secure. No loose ends, she says into the receiver. My ears perk. Inheritance? Mom and Dad left a small trust, but Aunt Evelyn controlled it, doling out scraps. She hangs up, turning. Hurry up and don't touch anything valuable. I nod, but as I smooth the bed, something catches my eye. A folder on the nightstand, papers peeking out. Legal documents? She snatches it away. Nosy, aren't you? That's why you'll always be bottom rung. Her sneer returns, and I feel the simmer build again. The locket warms, almost pulsing. Why do you say that? I ask, voice steady for once. She laughs. Because it's true. Your parents were nobodies. You're nobody. The words land like punches, but I straighten. Maybe, but something inside disagrees. As I finish, heading out, door clicking behind me, determination flickers. Tonight, after shift, I'll dig. Old boxes in my apartment, Mom's letters perhaps. The locket's mystery tugs. What if she's hiding something? The elevator dings as I descend, heart quickening. This rage isn't just anger, it's a spark, and it's growing. The elevator doors slide open with a soft chime, spilling me back into the lobby's bustle. I weave through guests, their laughter a distant hum, and push into the staff room, the door clicking shut behind me. My heart pounds like a drum in my chest, echoing the rhythm of Aunt Evelyn's heels from earlier. I sink onto a worn bench, the wood cool through my uniform, and replay her sneer. You'll never be more than a maid. The words loop, sharp as the lemon polish still clinging to my hands. I finger the locket's engraved initials, faded swirls that might be an A and an R, or something else entirely. Rubbing them like a worry stone. I've never understood them, never bothered to ask. Growing up in her shadow, it was easier to stay small. Flashbacks hit hard. Holidays at her mansion, where my cousins got new clothes and gadgets, while I mended hand-me-downs in the kitchen. Their blood, she'd say, her voice like honeyed poison. Your obligation. Mom's subtle hints flicker in memory, bedtime stories about hidden treasures and true families. Her eyes distant, the locket always around her neck before it became mine. She'd touch it, whispering. One day, it'll make sense. The accident stole her before it could. I exhale, the room's stale coffee smell grounding me, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like angry bees. Maria bustles in, her keycard beeping as she scans it, ponytail swinging. She's been here longer than me, knows every rumor in these halls. Lena? You look like you saw a ghost. I glance up, the locket slipping from my fingers, cool against my skin. Not a ghost. Just Aunt Evelyn. She cornered me in the lobby, called me. Well, you know. Maria sets down her thermos with a thud, steam curling up. That witch. What now? I hesitate, then spill it. The sneer, the guest turning, the burn in my cheeks. She's quiet, pouring coffee, the liquid gurgling into a mug. She's always had it out for you. But listen, there's talk around here. She slides the mug my way, warmth seeping through the ceramic as I wrap my hands around it. What talk? Maria leans in, voice low, the room's AC humming in the background. About Mr. Reynolds, the CEO. Word is he had a kid years ago, long lost, given up or something. Affair gone wrong, buried to protect the family name. Some say there's a trust fund waiting, clues in old jewelry or letters. My pulse skips. Jewelry? The locket weighs heavier now, its metal thumping under my touch. Really? How do you know? She shrugs. Overheard managers chatting. He's been asking about staff records from way back, when your parents worked here. Coincidence? I stare into the coffee, steam misting my face. Mom and Dad started at this hotel chain. Low-level jobs, but happy. Aunt Evelyn, Mom's sister, always lorded her success over them. After the crash, she took everything. Guardianship, the house sale, the meager savings. Favoritism, I murmur. She poured it all into my cousins. I got scraps. Maria nods. Maybe dig into it. Your mom's stuff. Any old papers? The idea stirs, turning humiliation into something sharper. Determination. Quiet, but building. I sip the coffee, bitter on my tongue. The locket's chain tangling slightly as I shift. Yeah, maybe. We chat a bit more, Light stuff, shifts, and annoying guests to ease the tension. But inside, questions swirl. What if there's truth to the rumor? What if the initials mean something? The wall clock ticks, marking the end of my shift. I stand, rinsing the mug, water rushing cold over my hands. Thanks, Maria. Needed that. She smiles. Anytime. Don't let her grind you down. I clock out with a beep from the time card machine, the card sliding smoothly into its slot. Shoulder my bag, the strap rough against my palm. Step into the hall, cooler air brushing my face. My phone buzzes in my pocket. A text. I pull it out, screen glowing, from Aunt Evelyn. Clean my suite. Now, for free, of course. You owe me. Owe her? For what? Existing. Rage flares, but I swallow it, hard, like a pill without water. Fine, I'll go. But this time, eyes open. I head to the supply closet, gathering towels and cleaners, the cart's wheels squeaking faintly. The locket thumps against my chest with each step, heavy, insistent, like it's urging me on. The elevator dings as I call it, doors opening with a whoosh. I push the cart in, press 12. The ascent hums, mirrors reflecting my determined face. What secrets are up there? In her suite, amid her things. I'm done being blind. The doors part, and I step out, the carpet muffling my approach. Her door waits. I knock, knuckles rapping sharply. The locket cools against my skin, almost expectant. Whatever's coming, I'm ready to face it. The door to suite 1204 swings open with a soft whoosh, and Aunt Evelyn's voice cuts through immediately. About time. Make it spotless. I have a meeting tomorrow. I push the cart inside, wheels rumbling over the thick carpet. The air thick with her stale perfume, like wilted roses left too long in a vase. Scattered designer clothes drape the chairs and bed, silk blouses tangled with scarves, heels kicked off haphazardly. She lounges on the chaise by the window, phone in hand, scrolling, her nails tapping rhythmically against the screen. I start with the bathroom, mirrors fogged slightly from a recent shower. The tile cool under my knees as I scrub. Water drips from the faucet, a steady plink that matches my heartbeat. The locket sways with my movements, its metal clicking faintly against my uniform button. She calls from the living room. Don't forget the drawers. Dust everywhere last time. I move to the bedroom, straightening pillows, the fabric plush and scented with lavender detergent. As I tidy the nightstand, old family photos catch my eye, framed in silver, showing Aunt Evelyn with my cousins at beaches, graduations, holidays. I'm nowhere in them. Not a single shot. Doubt creeps in, cold as the air conditioning's hum. Why exclude me? Always. She appears in the doorway, arms crossed, her shadow long across the floor. Staring? Those are real family moments. You wouldn't understand, her words land heavy. But I keep working, folding a stray sweater. The locket warms in my grip as I pause, hidden by the bed. Why do you always say that? I ask, voice low. She laughs, sharp and echoing off the high ceilings. Because it's true, after your parents died, that tragic little accident, I handled everything. The inheritance. I made sure it went to those who deserved it. My kids. You? Just the helps kid. Charity case. Manipulated. The word flashes in my mind. She manipulated it. How? I straighten, rag in hand. What do you mean manipulated? She steps closer, eyes narrowing, the perfume stronger now, cloying. I mean, I contested the will. Your mother, my sister, was delusional, thinking you were entitled. But blood knows blood. I had lawyers fix it. You got enough to scrape by. Her revelation hangs there, casual cruelty in her tone. The room spins slightly, lights from the city below twinkling through the glass like distant stars. Just the helps kid. Is that what she told the courts? Flashbacks surge, the funeral, her signing papers while I cried in the corner. Moving into her house, assigned a tiny room in the back. Years of earn your keep. Resentment boils, hot in my veins. But then, as she turns away, dismissing me with a wave, I open the nightstand drawer for dusting. Papers shuffle inside, receipts, a passport, and there, a faded envelope, yellowed edges crisp under my fingers. Addressed to Mr. Alexander Reynolds, the CEO, initials on the front, AR matching the locket's engravings. My breath catches. I glance up. She's back on her phone, oblivious. Heart racing, I slip the letter into my pocket, the paper crinkling softly. A secret. Hers or mine? The investigative spark ignites, turning resentment into fire. What does it say? I close the drawer with a quiet click, the locket now pulsing warm against my chest, like approval. Finished, she snaps, not looking up. Almost. I vacuum quickly, the machine's roar drowning my thoughts, fibers lifting from the carpet. She complains over the noise, louder than necessary, typical incompetence. I ignore her, mind on the letter, its weight in my pocket. A promise. As I gather supplies, the sun dips low, painting the suite in orange hues, shadows lengthening. Night falls outside, city lights flickering on like waking eyes. She signs off with a grunt. Out, and don't dawdle tomorrow. I nod, pushing the cart to the door, handle cool and metallic. It locks with a beep. In the hallway, alone, I lean against the wall, breath steadying. The letter burns in my pocket, urging me. Truth ignored too long. What secrets does it hold? About Mom? About me? The elevator dings down the hall, but I take the stairs, steps echoing. Down, down, the locket bouncing with each footfall. At the bottom, I slip out the staff exit. Cool evening air brushing my face, carrying hints of rain. My apartment's a short walk. Tiny place, but mine. Inside, I'll read it. Uncover. The spark grows, determination settling like resolve. No more shadows. The streetlights blur through the rain-slicked windows as I trudge home. Umbrella forgotten at work, water dripping from my hair onto my collar. My apartment door creaks open, the familiar musty scent of old books and takeout greeting me. I flick on the dim lamp, its bulb casting a warm yellow glow over the cluttered table. Rain pattering steadily against the pane like impatient fingers. The letter crinkles in my pocket as I pull it out, hands trembling slightly from the chill. I sink into the worn armchair, fabric scratching my damp uniform, and unfold the paper, crisp despite its age, yellowed edges flaking under my touch. The handwriting is elegant, looped cursive from years ago, dated 15 years back, just after the accident. To Alexander, it reads, "The child is safe, but concealed as we agreed. The locket holds the key. Your initials are secret. She must never know, for her protection. Evelyn." Evelyn, my aunt's name. Hidden paternity? The words blur as I read again, heart thudding. Hints at an affair, a child given up, no, hidden, to avoid scandal. Mom's sister covering it up? Memories flood in waves, family gatherings at Aunt Evelyn's estate, Thanksgiving tables laden with turkey and pies, her voice booming praise for my cousins. Look at Clara's straight A's, future CEO material, she'd say, handing her a crisp envelope of cash. And Tom's soccer trophy, star athlete. Me? Lena, clear the dishes, earn your place. Always elevating them, her own blood, while I lingered in the shadows, wiping spills, the locket my only comfort, warm against my skin even then. Why? If this letter's true, because I'm not hers, not even fully Mom's. The rain intensifies, drumming harder, wind whistling through the cracks. I trace the initials on the locket, AR, matching the letter's address, Alexander Reynolds, the CEO. My boss's boss's boss. Could he be? Inner conflict surges, a storm inside matching the one outside. Confront her? Storm back to the hotel, wave this in her face? Demand answers? But fear grips me, cold, vice-like. What if she denies it, twists it? She's got lawyers, power. I've got nothing but a stolen letter and a hunch. The locket warms in my hand, almost like a talisman, pulsing with faint heat. Or is that my imagination, guiding me? To what? Truth or ruin? I pace the small room, floorboards creaking, the lamp's light flickering as thunder rumbles distant. Dig deeper. How? Old boxes in the closet, Mom's things packed away after the move. I drag one out, dust puffing up, coughing as I open it. Papers, photos, a faded birth certificate. Mine, but with smudged details. Hospital records, nothing obvious. The locket clicks as I open it again, still empty. but now it feels like a void waiting to be filled. My phone buzzes on the table, screen lighting up. Clara, my cousin. I hesitate, then answer, speaker crackling slightly. Lena? Oh, good, you're up. Her voice bubbles, effervescent as always. Guess what? I got the promotion. VP at the firm. Mom's throwing a party, funded it all, of course. Her connections pulled strings, gloating, clear as day. Funded by what should have been mine? The inheritance Aunt Evelyn manipulated. The sting hits, sharp as a slap. Congrats, I manage, voice flat. She laughs. You sound thrilled. Still mopping floors? Come to the party, serve drinks or something. It'll be fun. Fun. The word twists like a knife. No thanks. A pause. Suit yourself. Losers stay losers. She hangs up, the line beeping dead. I stare at the phone, knuckles white. The sting pushes me, deeper into the dark. Alone in the quiet, rain softening to a drizzle, I boot up my old laptop, keys clicking under my fingers. Search for Alexander Reynolds. Public records. The screen glows blue, illuminating my face. CEO of Grand Horizon chain. Widower. No known children. But rumors. Old articles hinting at a scandal. Buried. A hidden child. I cross-reference the letter's date. Accident reports from that year. Mom and Dad's crash. Official. Brake failure. But whispers in forums. Suspicious. Tampered? No. Too far. The locket cools now, resting on the table. I pocket the letter again, its crisp fold a reminder. Debate rages inside, fear versus fire. But Clara's call tips it. No more. I'll dig. Quietly, procedurally. Start with public databases, birth records, perhaps a library trip tomorrow. Or hotel archives. Staff access might get me old files. Clearance needed? I know the system, basic security procedure from training. Log in remotely? Risky. But the spark, now aflame, urges. Thunder cracks again, closer. I lean back, eyes on the window. Streaks of water like tears. What if it's true? Paternity hidden. Me, his daughter. The thought terrifies, excites. In the quiet, dark, alone, I plan. Deeper. No turning back. Morning light filters through my blinds, pulling me from fitful sleep. The letter still folded under my pillow like a guarded secret. I rise, muscles aching from tension, and brew coffee, the machine gurgling as steam rises with a bitter aroma. The plan from last night simmers. Deeper research, but work calls first. By 10, I'm at Aunt Evelyn's estate for the family brunch, invited via a curt text, the driveway lined with luxury cars gleaming under the sun. The door opens to chatter and the clink of silverware, relatives milling in the dining room, crystal glasses tinkling. Aunt Evelyn spots me immediately, her smile false as porcelain. Lena, dear, come, help serve. I'm in my uniform, shift starts after, but she treats it like a costume. I nod, slipping into the kitchen, the air warm with scents of bacon and fresh bread. Cousins Clara and Tom laugh at the table, plates piled high. Clara waves. Oh, the help's here. I carry out a tray, coffee pot steaming, the handle hot against my palm. Set it down carefully, porcelain clattering softly. Aunt Evelyn reaches for a cup, but her hand slips, knocking the pot. Hot coffee cascades over my uniform, scalding my thigh through the fabric. I gasp, jumping back, the burn sharp and immediate. Laughter erupts. Oops, she says, eyes twinkling with malice. Clumsy me, or was it you, dear? Always in the way. Relatives chuckle, Uncle Harold patting her back. Accidents happen. Lena, clean it up. Tom snickers. Yeah, that's her job. I endure, face burning hotter than the spill, grabbing a napkin, the paper rough as I dab. The locket presses cool against my chest, an anchor amid the venom masked by chatter. Why invite me just to humiliate? Power. Always. I mop the floor, knees on the tile, their voices rising around me, praise for Clara's promotion, plans for Tom's vacation, funded by my stolen inheritance. The sting deepens, but I bite back words. Finish, excuse myself to the bathroom, water running cold over the stain. Mirror reflects my flushed face. Enough, but not yet. Back at the table, they ignore me, conversation flowing like nothing happened. I slip out early, driveway gravel crunching under my shoes. At work, the hotel lobby buzzes. Guests checking out, bells dinging. I clock in with a beep, the time card sliding home. Maria nods from the desk. Rough morning? You have no idea. I start rounds, polishing brass fixtures, the metal gleaming under my cloth. Mid-afternoon, in the upper hallway, voices echo from a cracked conference door. Aunt Evelyn's, sharp, commanding. Get her fired. Incompetence. Theft. Whatever. I own shares. Make it happen. A manager's murmur agrees. Understood, ma'am. We'll document incidents. My blood runs cold, plotting to erase me completely. I press against the wall, carpet muffling my breath. The door snaps shut, their footsteps fading. Fury surges, cold and precise, clutching the locket for strength. Its engravings biting into my palm. No more enduring. She wants war? Fine. I finish my shift mechanically, checklists ticked. Rooms vacuumed, linens folded, supplies restocked. Procedural, like security protocols I've learned. Document, report, escalate. But this is personal. As the day ends, sun dipping low, casting long shadows through the windows, an envelope waits at the front desk. Gold embossed invitation. Grand Horizon Gala. Black tie, tomorrow night. My name scripted elegantly. Aunt Evelyn's doing, her scrawl on a note. Attend. See how the other half lives. To rub in her status. Parade among elites while I watch from the sidelines. The letter, the stolen one, tucks away in my bag like ammunition, paper whispering against fabric. I decide then, I'll attend. Not as the maid, as me, with truth in hand. The locket warms, almost approving. Homeward, city lights flickering on. I plan my outfit. Borrowed dress, simple but defiant. What if I confront there, publicly? Risky. But the fury cools to strategy. No turning back. Suspense builds, heart steady. Tomorrow it escalates. The morning after, sunlight slants through my apartment window, casting long shadows across the floor as I unfold the invitation again. Gold edges catching the light. Tomorrow becomes today. Gala night looms, tension heightening like a tightening spring. I sip coffee, black and strong, the mug warm in my hands, steam curling up with a faint bitter scent. Preparation starts simple. I text Maria, borrowing a dress from her closet. Deep blue, elegant but understated, nothing flashy. She drops it off mid-morning, fabric rustling in its garment bag. Knock 'em dead, she says with a wink. I hang it up, zipper whispering open, and try it on, the silk cool against my skin. Mirror shows a stranger, fitted bodice, floor-length skirt. But I feel out of place, like an imposter amid the glittering world I'll enter. The locket remains my only accessory, its silver chain gleaming against the blue. Engravings faint but familiar. Flashbacks creep in as I adjust the hem. Childhood slights sharp in memory. Summers when Aunt Evelyn packed the family for vacations to Europe. Beaches in Italy, ski trips to the Alps. You stay here, Lena. Watch the house, she'd say, car doors slamming shut, leaving me with empty rooms and silence. Excluded always, while Clara and Tom returned with tans and stories. Souvenirs dangled like taunts. Favoritism etched deep. Her real children pampered. Me the afterthought. Why? The letter in my drawer whispers answers. Hidden paternity. Secrets buried. I tuck it into a small clutch. Paper folding crisply. Ammunition for whatever comes. Afternoon shift at the hotel buzzes with gala prep. Staff scurrying. Floral arrangements arriving in vans. Scents of lilies and roses filling the air. I polish banisters, wood smooth under my cloth, while caterers set up in the ballroom, clinking glasses and folding linens. Checklists run through my mind, procedural from training, verify clearances for vendors, scan IDs at the door, log deliveries. Security procedure hums in the background, guards testing radios with soft beeps. Amid the chaos, a chance encounter unfolds. I'm in the lobby, dusting a vase, porcelain cool and fragile, when Mr. Reynolds, the CEO, strides through, suit impeccable, entourage trailing. He pauses near me, gaze locking on the locket at my neck. Time slows. His eyes widen slightly, a flicker of recognition. The locket warms under his stare. almost glowing in the chandelier light. Is that? He starts, voice low, reaching out but stopping short. Hope seeds in my chest, tiny but sprouting. Does he know? Before I can speak, Aunt Evelyn sweeps in from the elevators, heels clicking rapid fire across the marble. Alexander, darling, she coos, linking her arm with his, steering him away. Her glance at me is sharp, dismissing. Staff issues? Ignore her, she's nobody. He hesitates, looking back, but she chatters on about board matters, pulling him toward the offices. The moment shatters, leaving me breathless, the vase nearly slipping from my grip. Nobody. The word echoes, but that stare. It plants doubt, hope. What if? I finish my tasks mechanically, clocking out with a beep. The time card machine whirring. Home again, nerves coil tight as I prepare. Shower water rushes hot over my skin, steam fogging the mirror. I dry my hair, pin it up, strands falling soft. Makeup minimal, lipstick a bold red, steadying my hand. The dress slips on again, zipper rasping up with a quiet rasp. Locket last, chain fastening into place. Gala night approaches, the air outside thickening with dusk, city lights twinkling on like expectant eyes. I call a cab, engine humming as it pulls up, door clicking open. Ride to the hotel passes in a blur, streetlights streaking by. Anticipation builds, thick and heavy, my clutch heavy with the letter. What if tonight's the night? Confrontation. Revelation. Everything shatters, her world or mine. The cab stops, door opening to the hotel's glow. I step out, heels unsteady on the pavement. Inside, music swells faintly from the ballroom. Ready? The locket pulses warm, guiding. I wonder. The entrance to the ballroom looms, double doors flung wide, spilling golden light and the swell of orchestral music into the lobby. I step through, the hem of my borrowed dress whispering against the polished floor, heels clicking softly in time with my heartbeat. Crystal chandeliers hang overhead like frozen fireworks, casting shimmering patterns on silk-draped tables and guests in tuxedos and gowns, champagne flutes fizzing in their hands. The air hums with laughter and clinking glasses, scents of perfume mingling with floral centerpieces, roses and orchids blooming in abundance. Aunt Evelyn parades through the crowd, her red gown flowing like blood, arm linked with a cluster of elites, her voice carrying as she networks. Darling, the merger was brilliant, she says to one, laughter trilling. She spots me almost immediately, eyes narrowing, but she beckons with a flick of her wrist. Lena, over here. I approach, clutch tight in my hand, the letter inside a silent weight. She thrusts an empty glass at me. Fetch drinks, make yourself useful. Sidelining me, again. Guests glance curiously, but she waves it off. My niece, the helpful sort. I nod, cheeks warming, and head to the bar, the bartender pouring with a steady glug, bubbles rising in the flutes. Tray in hand, I circulate, offering champagne, the crystal cool against my fingers. She commands outright now, in front of clusters of guests. Lena, more here, quickly, don't dawdle like a maid. Snickers ripple from her group, heads turning. The locket sways with my steps, its metal warming against my skin, a quiet anchor. I serve, enduring, the music swelling in a crescendo of strings. Flashbacks flicker, similar nights, me in the background at her parties, clearing while she shone. But tonight, the letter burns in my clutch, secrets waiting. Humiliation builds as the evening wears on. She gathers a larger crowd near the dance floor, spotlights grazing her. And this, she announces, gesturing at me with a flute, voice amplified by the room's acoustics, is my lowly niece, still scrubbing floors here. Can you believe? Family charity. Laughter ripples outward, faces blurring in the golden light, murmurs spreading like wildfire. My hands tremble on the tray, a glass tipping slightly, fizz hissing. Lowly. The word echoes, boiling over inside me. I nearly break, drop everything, flee. But the locket's weight presses, reminding me. The letter's hints, hidden truths. I straighten, breath steadying. Not yet. The orchestra fades, a hush falling as spotlights dim for speeches. Microphones hum to life with a soft feedback whine. Mr. Reynolds, the CEO, takes the stage, steps measured, suit crisp under the lights. He adjusts the podium, papers rustling, and begins. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Grand Horizon Gala. His voice booms, warm and commanding. He speaks of milestones, mergers, the hotel's legacy. But then, his gaze sweeps the crowd. Finds mine. Locks. Time stretches. The locket pulses warmer, almost hot now, like a beacon. He pauses mid-sentence, brow furrowing slightly. The crowd shifts, whispers starting. Aunt Evelyn notices, her smile faltering as she sips champagne. My pulse races, thundering in my ears. The unknown ahead, his stare from the lobby yesterday, now amplified here. Does he recognize? The letter's words flash. The child is safe. The locket holds the key. What if? He resumes, but his eyes flick back to me. Tension coils. The air thickens. Speeches continue, applause clapping like thunder. But that gaze, it lingers, promises, or warns. I stand frozen, tray forgotten. Whatever shatters tonight, it's close. So close. The applause dies down, leaving a hush that blankets the ballroom, the chandelier's light dimming slightly as the next speaker prepares. Mr. Reynolds clears his throat, microphone amplifying the soft rustle of his notes. And now to the unsung heroes, his voice booms, steady and resonant over the quiet. Those who built this empire from the ground up, the staff, the dreamers, the ones who never seek the spotlight but deserve it most. Guests nod, murmurs of agreement rippling like a gentle wave. His words hang, praising the invisible hands that keep the hotel running. The dedication behind the glamour. I shift, tray still in my grip, glasses clinking faintly. His gaze finds mine again, holding. Does he mean people like me? Chaos erupts, sudden. Aunt Evelyn pushes forward from her cluster, her voice slicing through the hush like a knife. Alexander, this intruder, remove her at once. She points at me, finger accusatory, her face twisted in triumph, red gown swirling as she advances. Guests murmur in shock, heads turning, whispers swelling. Intruder? Me? The word lands heavy, spotlights swinging erratically, casting harsh shadows. Security stirs at the edges, radios beeping softly as they approach. Footsteps measured on the marble. She's no guest, Aunt Evelyn continues, voice rising, amplified by the room's tension. Just a maid playing dress-up, embarrassing the family. Laughter scatters, nervous cutting from her allies, but others frown, confusion spreading. Mr. Reynolds pauses on stage, microphone feedback whining briefly. I stand frozen. The tray slips from my fingers, crashing to the floor with a shatter of glass, champagne fizzing out in puddles. Shards glint under the lights. Humiliation surges, hot and choking. But then, I act. Hand diving into my clutch, fingers closing on the letter's crisp edge. I pull it out, paper trembling in my grasp. No more. I step forward, voice finding strength, projecting over the murmurs. Wait, heads turn. Aunt Evelyn sneers. Security, now. But I unfold the letter, words tumbling out, reading aloud its damning lines. To Alexander, I say, voice shaking at first, then steadying. The child is safe, but hidden as we agreed. The locket holds the key, your initials, our secret. She must never know, for her protection. Evelyn. Gasps ripple outward. The room stills, hidden lineage. The words hang, exposed. My aunt's face pales, triumph crumbling. What nonsense. But I continue, emotional peak crashing over me, vulnerability raw, turning to empowerment. A fire igniting. This is from her drawer, proof, manipulation. The inheritance stolen, paternity hidden. The locket burns warm against my chest, a talisman fueling me. Guests whisper furiously, phones emerging, cameras flashing like distant lightning. Security halts midway, unsure, their boots scuffing the floor. Procedural checklists flash in my mind. From staff training, assess threat, confirm authority, hand off evidence if needed. But here, it's chaos. Spotlights flare brighter, swinging to center on us, heat prickling my skin. Mr. Reynolds raises a hand from the stage, his expression shifting. Recognition dawning, eyes wide on the locket. Then the letter. Hold, he commands, voice booming through the speakers. Security freezes, radios crackling with static. He steps down, podium abandoned. Approaching through the parted crowd, the air thickens, orchestral music silenced. Only the hum of murmurs and my pounding heart. Aunt Evelyn lunges for the letter. Lies! She's a thief! But a guard intercepts gently, following protocol. De-escalate. Await clearance. Mr. Reynolds reaches us, his cologne faint and woody, hand extended. The letter, he says softly. I hand it over, paper passing with a whisper, evidence transfer smooth as procedure. He scans it, face paling then hardening. The locket clacks as I touch it, warm metal grounding. Guests lean in, 300 pairs of eyes locked. His gaze meets mine again. Daughter? The flip hovers, breath held in my throat. Close, so very close. Mr. Reynolds folds the letter carefully, his fingers steady, but his eyes, those eyes, lock onto mine with a storm brewing behind them. The ballroom holds its breath, the hush so profound I hear the faint fizz of spilled champagne evaporating on the floor nearby. He turns back to the microphone, still in hand from the stage, its cord trailing like a lifeline. Ladies and gentlemen, he says, voice booming through the speakers, amplified and echoing off the crystal chandeliers. The reveal hits like thunder, rolling through the room. This young woman, she's my daughter, gasps erupt, sharp and collective. 300 guests leaning forward, murmurs swelling like a wave. My knees weaken, the locket scorching warm against my skin, as if alive with the truth. He gestures to an assistant offstage, who nods and taps a tablet. Screens flicker to life behind him, projectors humming to project a DNA report in stark white letters. Evidence scrolls. Paternity match, 99.9%. Graphs spike. Initials match. AR clear as day. Old correspondence digitized. Emails and letters from 15 years ago, detailing the affair, the hidden birth, the agreement to protect. Legal affidavits follow, stamped and notarized, outlining the cover-up. The room reels, flashes popping from phones and cameras like fireworks. Aunt Evelyn staggers back, her face paling to ash, hand clutching her pearls. No, lies! She's fabricating. But her voice cracks, protest crumbling under the weight of eyes and lenses. Authority validates instantly. A lawyer strides in from the side entrance, suit crisp, briefcase clicking open as he approaches. Papers in hand, he clears his throat, voice projecting, without aid. Mr. Reynolds has authorized the release of these documents. Inheritance rights are hereby restored to Lena Reynolds. Full access to the trust fund. Shares in the hotel chain, as per the original will. Fraudulent manipulations by Evelyn Hargrove are under investigation. He hands off a sheaf to Mr. Reynolds. Evidence transfer smooth, procedural, like a checklist ticked. Confirm authenticity, log witnesses, escalate to legal. Security radios beep softly, guards shifting stance. Police arrive through the main doors, badges glinting under the lights. Footsteps measured and official. Ms. Hargrove, one says, voice even. You're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and forgery. Handcuffs click open with a metallic snap, cold steel encircling her wrists. She twists, face contorting. You can't, this is outrageous. Alexander, tell them. But Mr. Reynolds, my father, shakes his head, expression a mix of sorrow and resolve. It's over, Evelyn. You hid her from me, stole from her. The officers escort her, her heels dragging slightly on the marble, protests fading into whimpers as cameras flash relentless, capturing every frame. Triumph surges through me, electric and heady, the locket now a symbol of truth. Heavy with vindication, I touch it, fingers tracing the initials, our initials. But as she passes, our eyes meet. Hers, broken. A mix of pity and closure washes over, softening the edges. She was family once, twisted but blood. The room erupts in chaos, questions flying, guests clustering. Mr. Reynolds steps closer, his hand hovering near my shoulder. Lena, I didn't know. Your mother, she swore me to secrecy, but Evelyn, she twisted it all. His voice breaks slightly. The lawyer nods. We'll need statements, standard procedure, but the evidence is ironclad. Bank records confirm the diversions. Flashes continue, the air thick with perfume and tension. I nod. breath steadying. Police lead her out, doors swinging shut with a thud. Closure settles, but questions linger. What now? Father, daughter. The locket cools, as if at peace, but the night isn't done. The ballroom's glow fades as spotlights dim, chandeliers casting long shadows across the scattered glasses and crumpled napkins. Guests whisper in clusters, their voices a low buzz like distant bees. Eyes darting between me and the doors where police lead Aunt Evelyn away. Her wrists gleam under the cuffs, soft clicks echoing as they snap shut, final, unyielding. One officer reads her rights, voice procedural and flat. You have the right to remain silent. She twists once more, face ashen, but the empire of lies crumbles visible. Her shoulders slump, the red gown now a wilted flag. Concrete consequences hit swift. The lawyer announces over a handheld speaker, papers rustling in his grip. Asset freezes effective immediately. Bank accounts, properties, shares. Disinheritance proceedings for Clara and Tom Hargrove initiated per fraud clauses. Public apologies mandated in upcoming court filings, with restitution hearings scheduled. He hands off a docket to an aide, clearance stamps thumping like verdicts. Cameras flash relentless, capturing her escorted out. Doors swinging with a heavy thud. Relief floods me, mingled with the surreal, years of shadows lifting in one chaotic night. Mr. Reynolds, father, turns to me, his face softened in the waning light. The crowd parts slightly, giving space, the air still thick with champagne's fizz and floral scents. He reaches for my hand, his palm warm against mine, calluses surprising from a man of boardrooms. Lena, he says softly, voice cracking just a fraction. I searched for years. Your mother, she thought it best to shield you from scandal. But Evelyn, she buried the truth deeper than I knew. I nod, throat tight. The locket hangs cool now, as if at peace, its silver chain a gentle weight. He glances at it, fingers brushing the engraving. May I? I unclasp it, the metal clicking open in his hand. Inside, hidden all these years, a tiny photo unfolds. Him, younger, holding a baby me. Mom smiling beside. Tears prick my eyes. How? She sent it to me secretly. I kept a copy, but lost track after the accident. Evelyn claimed you were gone. Emotional resolution swells, from pain's sharp edges to a soft belonging, like fitting a missing piece. His hand squeezes mine. We'll rebuild. Family, real family. A quiet moment stretches, the ballroom's hum fading around us. Security clears the area methodically. Checklist murmured. Perimeter secure, statements collected, evidence logged. Police radios beep confirmation, static hissing briefly. Guests disperse slowly, whispers trailing. Did you see? The DNA? Her aunt arrested. Clara and Tom hover at the edges, faces pale, phones in hand, texts flying no doubt, as their world unravels. The lawyer approaches again, briefcase shutting with a thud. Miss Reynolds, will need your signature on preliminary forms. Inheritance transfer protocol. I sign, pen scratching paper, the ink cool and final. Assets restored, trust fund unlocked, shares vested, belonging. Not just blood, but justice. Father, still strange to think, guides me toward a side exit, his arm steady. Let's get some air. We step out into the cool night, city breeze carrying hints of rain and exhaust, stars peeking through clouds. The hotel's facade glows behind us, doors closing with a soft whoosh. Police vans idle curbside, lights flashing silent blue and red. Aunt Evelyn's silhouette visible in one, head bowed. Pity flickers, brief, unwelcome. She built this cage. But closure overrides, a door shutting inside me. We stand there, father and daughter. The locket back around my neck, photo tucked safe. You'll come to the office tomorrow, he asks. We have much to discuss. Your future here, if you want it. I smile, small but real. Yes. He nods, squeezing my hand once more before his car pulls up, door clicking open. Get home safe. I watch him go, then turn, heels echoing on the sidewalk. The night air chills my skin, but warmth lingers inside. As I walk away, the hotel shrinking behind, I whisper to myself, you were wrong.